So it's one of the biggest dilemmas in photography. It's one of the biggest things as a business person, as a photographer, that you're ever going to have to deal with. Okay, maybe I'm a little overstating it there, but some days it feels like it. What is it? Well, I call it the photographer's dilemma or the photographer's guilt, or well, I call it other stuff, but it's not appropriate for YouTube. And it goes something like this. Hi there. You're that photographer guy. Now, it usually starts with the photographer guy. They don't even know your name. They've seen you with a camera. Your daughter's involved with our music class, isn't she? Yes, she is. Well, you know we have a recital coming up next weekend. Yes, I know. You don't mind coming and taking pictures of all the participants, do you? Deep breath. And while you're there, you don't mind setting up a backdrop and doing pictures of them all while they're dressed up, do you? Oh, and while you're doing that, you don't mind if the families also get pictures done, do you? Or the next one. Oh, hi there, you're that photographer guy. Your son's on our soccer team. Yes, he is. Well, we're at provincials next week. Yes, I see that. And, well, you don't mind coming with your camera and photographing all the games, do you? We would like a couple pictures of at least each player. And you don't mind if we win a trophy or something of doing the team picture too, do you? Or, one of my favorite ones, you're the second cousin of the first, of the uncle, of the aunt, of the... You're coming to so-and-so's wedding, aren't you? Yeah. You don't mind bringing all your photography equipment and being the official photographer, do you? I don't want to say what I'm thinking. Or, and this is another big one, hi, we're with this group or organization or a company or charity or whatever. We really need a donation for our awards banquet, ceremony, national convention. You don't mind donating one of your fabulous nature prints, do you? And if it was framed, that would even be better. Or, well, you know, it's the year end at our tournament and we want to give the coaches some gifts. And, well, you know, if you gave us one of your amazing Lethbridge high-level bridge pictures and framed and everything, we could give it to the coach. And, well, there's actually 3 coaches, so we'd need 3 of them. So how do you deal with all that? How do you sit down and figure out, well, how not to be a jerk? Now, I know people are probably already putting in the comments, just be a jerk and tell them no. And I know there's lots of people out there who are jerks, and that's usually why they're armchair quarterbacks and they actually don't run a business or anything. But how do you deal with it? Well, after you like this video, after you subscribe to my channel, sit down with a piece of paper and write down all the requirements you have to donate to somebody. It may be the type of donation that they want. Maybe you'll only do services and not product. Maybe you'll only do product and not service. Maybe different organizations. Well, I really like this organization or this cause. I like to donate to that. But, you know, I'll also donate to this as well. Write down the rules, regulations, and everything, and then keep it so that when you're approached, you can refer to it so that you're not making a decision based upon, well, no information. Number 2, big one. Tell whoever asks you, wherever they ask you, whenever they ask you, that you have to think about it. You have to check your schedule. You have to see if you have any room in your charitable donations to do that, whatever they ask for. Every year, I actually set apart some money. And I don't want to just give away money to just anybody. I don't want to give away my time to just anybody. So I actually will sit down and I will look and see, how much have I given away this year? How much have I got left to give away? Do I want to do it? A lot of the people who come in and ask for these gifts of services, especially products, are doing the machine gun approach. They hit 5,000 people a day asking them for a donation and then they leave. When you tell them to come back, that you want some time to look into it and stuff, you'll never hear from them again. They're gone. Next one. If it's a group, organization, charity, whatever, ask them to bring you a formal request form and see if it comes with your name on it. See if it comes with that information, or if it's just generic. To whom it may concern, we need some stuff, give it to us now. Ask them to put something into it. Next thing, ask for something in return. And this can be just as simple as being mentioned at the event. Now, if it's a wedding, obviously, they can say thank you to Patterson Photography for doing our wedding pictures and stuff, but it pretty much ends there. But if it's at a convention or something, ask to be put into the marketing material, the promotional materials, the flyers, the programs, and all of that. And then tell them, if you don't put me into it, I will charge you for the picture. I will charge you for the service. I will then just be an employee. If you don't mention me, if I don't get anything back from it, I'm not giving it to you for free. Happened to me a number of years ago. I donated a really nice print. I went to the event. I walked up to the event and there's a big sign. We'd like to thank so-and-so photographer for supporting our event. It wasn't me. They donated a prize that was like $100. I donated a huge, expensive print. They didn't even mention me. Since then, I tell them they have to actually mention me. And it's a requirement. And I make them sign on it if I don't think that they're going to do it. Next one, and I already briefly touched on it. Settle an amount that you're willing to do for free each year. Maybe $100, $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is. And don't go over that. And include your time and include your product in that. Okay, if I charge $75 an hour and you want 25 hours of my time, I'm sorry, I can't do that. That takes me over my budget. Next, find out groups that you want to support and offer to support them in advance. So that way, if you're supporting a group, then the competition group comes up, you can say, I'm sorry, I've already committed to them. I've already given my services to them. I've already given the product to them. I'm not supporting another one. Because a lot of times there's multiples of the same thing. Soccer federations, soccer teams, soccer organizations, soccer this. In our area, there's like 20 of them. And they come to me and they say, would you like to do, no, because I'm already doing it for other places. I've committed to them. Sorry, no. Then make sure you stick with it. Make sure you're polite. Make sure that you're like down to earth. Make sure you're not rude, but make sure that you're also not being taken advantage of. Why did I do this video? Because just yesterday, another customer came in, and it happens constantly here. They came in to pick up some stuff, and they said, I got roped into doing this. I'm like, oh, why would you? They would have paid another photographer to do it, but because, yeah, I know, but it happens to be my sister's future husband's son's niece. Huh? What? And it's just like, so be firm, be polite. Now, how do you deal with the family issue? How do you deal with the family that expects you to do stuff all the time? I do this, and I say this as clearly and as politely as possible. I would love to come to your event as a participant. I would love to be there to watch whatever. I would love to be there to enjoy whatever. But if you expect me to be there as an employee, I will have to get paid for it, because I'm not bringing my $20,000 or $30,000 worth of camera equipment and spending my time, spending all my energy and everything while people are enjoying themselves to get you the great pictures, and then I don't get to enjoy it. If you want me to do it, I'd be happy to do it. Here's my rates. Some people will say yes, some people will say no, and yes, some people will be offended. But honestly, how many times does a wedding couple ask a mechanic, if you're coming to my wedding, do you mind rotating the tires and doing an oil change on my car in the parking lot while we're getting married? Or how many times do they go to a family member who's a good cook and say, hey, do you mind going and buying all the food and everything for us, preparing it, serving it, doing the dishes, and maybe renting the hall at the same time? You have to be firm, you have to be polite, but they have to understand it's your business. You can be there as a family member, you can be there as a friend, or you can be there as a business person. So until next time, I hope you get out there. I hope you get some amazing pictures. And I hope you treat people with respect and they treat you with respect in return. We'll talk to you next time. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye now.